Richard with Eccentric, and I would like to show you the Eccentric 43 and how to renovate a natural stone marble floor with it using the EDS system. EDS is Eccentric Diamond System, but we'll call it EDS for short. If you look over here, we have a good looking marble stone, but we will damage it using an acid to recreate acid stains. So you have a low pH. Don't try this at home, but it happens. It happens in real life when you're in a hotel or some other place and the bottle of descaler falls down, or you have a few drops, or someone uses the wrong chemical to clean and you have a damaged floor. But you want to fix it. If you look closely, you'll see the damages in the surface. You'll see a gloss difference. The way we want to repair these damages is using EDS. EDS is containing pad system, resin bonded diamond discs and metal bonded diamond discs. We will not use the metal bonded diamond discs. These are more used for concrete, for instance. So I'll put these to the side for now. The pad is a pad impregnated with diamonds, and in here we have resin bonded. So it's basically like a plastic that's full of little diamonds in different grids. And we use these in different steps to grind the stone down, to remove a layer from the surface and then slowly go up, go higher in grit and then polish it to a nice gloss. The machine I'll be using today is the Eccentric 43. I'll be using it with 4 sets of weight. This is the amount of pressure that this gives is the right amount of pressure to grind and polish natural stone. So Eccentric 43 with 4 sets of weight. The Eccentric 43 is an orbital machine, so that means it makes a small circular movement combined with a big rotating movement. So it constantly makes these small movements all over, and this is a perfect method for really grinding down a natural stone and polishing it up to a high gloss finish. We have 5 steps of discs. They're marked on the back. In this case, we'll start with step number 1. We put the discs directly on the driver plate of the machine. Try to align them so they're nicely balanced. We don't use any chemicals, just use water. Even though I'm using a coarse grit to grind, it's an easy to use machine. It's just moving backwards and forwards, or with grinding it's better to go in this direction, go left to right, slightly back and do the same again. And overlap yourself. A lot of slurry came from the grinding process. We need to remove this slurry from the surface, remove the old discs from the driver, and make sure your surface is clean again before you go over to the next step. This specific stone is a Belgian blue stone. It contains a high level of sulfur, which I'm happy that you cannot smell it behind the camera, but it really smells badly. But it means that you're really digging into that surface. You can see it, all gloss has been removed from the surface, and now slowly we will start building it back up again. Now we move to step 2 of the EDS discs, and again apply fresh water to the surface. You use this water to first of all clean your discs or pads, but second of all also cool everything down. So of course you need a clean disc to grind it the way you want to, but also you don't want anything to overheat or burn. The reason why I'm also vacuuming the pad driver itself, you can also flush it, is because you don't want any residue on there either. So now we will move to step 3 of the EDS discs. You'll use each step approximately 4 times. So you will pass up, down and down again. Or if you have the space, go north, south, east, west. If you look closely, it's slowly starting to dry now. It's still a very dull surface, but less than before. So if you look very closely, you can see that every step you take, it gets more shiny. We've now reached step 4 of the EDS discs in a 5-step disc system. Again, fresh water. There is a spray system on the Eccentric 43, which is standard. Of course, for bigger services, this is very useful just to spray as you go with fresh water, but in this case, with a really small service, I'll just use the mop bucket. Depending on where you are, what kind of customer you have, this finish could be enough for some customers. Of course, I want to show you the full system, and I will polish it to the high gloss finish. I've reached step number 5, which is really close to polishing the surface. We're still using the discs, the resin bonded discs. And after this step, we will start using pads to finish it. I'm working with the wheels of the machine touching the floor. This will help you keep the balance in the machine and will keep it controllable. With this last step, you can feel that you have a higher grit, more friction and a more closed surface. It will become a little bit more grippy to the surface. It's already very shiny, but it still has, from the discs, some imperfections in it, which we need to polish off using EDS pads. Again, for the EDS pads, we are also using water, just clean tap water. When using the pads, it gets more and more easier to control. I'm just steering it with one hand right now. Also telling you that the surface is really smooth. If you look closely, also the slurry coming from the pad, the water, it's a lot finer. You can see through it still. So the particles that you're removing from the surface are just getting smaller and smaller. Already now we have a really nice glossy surface, but we have one final step that we can do. We don't have to, but we can. The pad I'm using right now, or I'm going to use, is the Grit 8000, the Ultra Polish pad. Before I will remove the last bit of water from the polishing step, I'd like you to see how little grinding material is mixed in the water. It's almost clear. That's how fine the last step is, the 8000 Ultra Polish step. It's difficult to see if it's already dry or not because the shine is so high it looks wet. This is like a wet look finish. The acid stains I made before we started have disappeared. We grinded down the top layer of the stone far enough to go into that layer, remove all the stains, and then polish what's underneath up again back to a high gloss. Thank you for watching this video. If you need more information or if you would like a demonstration at your location, please contact us or contact your local supplier.